Good morning, everyone. Just thought I would do a little update around the recent events regarding the Queen and where we're headed from here on after. So first of all, I asked, will Charles lead as king, or will he abdicate to William? They told me that Charles is unlikely to hold the throne for many years. He is a placeholder, being used to distract the public whilst the monarchy is being dismantled from the inside out. Harry and Meghan are prominent white hats, helping to bring about the abolition of future monarchy reign, king or queen, prince or princess. In the future, these titles will be removed and the palaces and the royal residences will be repurposed and reallocated. I then wanted to know if the Queen's death was one of the events spoken about after the green light, which Boris Johnson triggered through his resignation and then subsequent announcement through Liz Truss becoming Prime Minister. They said to me that the resignation was the start of events on the military timeline. The financial system cannot go live to the public until certain pieces of the strategy, the military strategy, have been implemented. The financial system cannot go live until Biden and the Democrats are seen to be no longer in power publicly. The midterm elections will go ahead to keep things steady on the surface for the masses. It is likely that at this time many positions will then go back to the Republicans to help create a shift of power. President Trump is likely to run for office in 2024. In the interim, much dismantling of corrupt organisations needs to continue, so a good clean sweep or clearing up can occur once we arrive at the 2024 elections. New quantum systems are being put into place so that devolution of power to the people will allow for fairer election procedures. People will vote for policy, not people. Ron DeSantis and Trump will walk side by side in 2024. The Space Force is about the setting up of satellite and space technology to secure safer networks and communications for humanity, to secure safer connectivity, devolved to the people through encrypted devices. This is the role of Starlink. Starlink connectivity, which will run quantum banking with no need for banks, just direct transactions between the Starlink and the end user. This concept will also be used in education, voting, energy, medicine. The Starlink will be overseen and managed by the military White Hat team. The world will be divided into regions similar to North, East, South, West. Commanders-in-Chief will head up each region. Geographical regions and how they are currently divided will change under the new regional mapping for the military. For example, Putin could head up a whole geographical region called the North, for example, which in effect could include the UK, Germany and Europe as a whole. The boundaries are currently being decided by the top people, the white hats, the crème de la crème. For example, Xi Jinping, the Saudi prince, Kim Jong-un, Putin. It appears that there will be 6 commanders-in-chief at this time of discussions. The other 2 regions of South Africa and South America are yet to be decided. I then asked about Prince William. Will he become king? It is the plan that all UK monarchy will be dismantled before Charles steps down or dies. The Constitution of London was made nil and void when President Trump visited the Queen in 2016. So constitutionally, the monarchy do not have a legal framework to be in any positions of power, royalty or otherwise. They are placeholders at this time, in the same way that politicians are placeholders in and around the world. The world is currently under military law until the quantum systems and regulations are fully established and the infrastructure is put into place. Then the whole systems currently parading to the masses can be collapsed. The political structures, banking structures, education structures, medical structures, energy structures, and travel structures will all be collapsed and transformed. I then asked about Meghan and Harry and asked if their role is to continue to collapse the monarchy. Meghan and Harry are working for the White Hats to bring about change in the royal setup. They are continuing the work of Princess Diana, who was silenced. I asked, is the QFS, the quantum financial system, related to the Queen's death? They said that the QFS, the quantum financial system, is not directly related to the Queen's death. The Queen's death is a military marker, an event in the military plan which triggers other moves. The QFS will go live to the masses once all internal infrastructure is up and running and all financial regulations are set up worldwide. For example, the financial protocols around managing a centralized banking system of digital currency, also known as CBDC. Rishi Sunak and Boris Johnson of the UK are working on these protocols behind the scenes in the UK. Tech giants like Apple are working with Elon Musk and Starlink to create the quantum technology, phones, laptops and infrastructure of connectivity to run the new quantum financial banking system in a devolved way for the masses. I asked if XRP is going to be part of the new centralized banking digital currencies. At this point in time, no one thing is decided with regard to what cryptocurrency frameworks will or won't be allowed. I asked, are there 2 financial systems? There is only one quantum financial system, and the military oversee it via Starlink connectivity. It's this Starlink connectivity that is running the centralized banking system for the digital currencies, the CBDC. I asked when traditional banking switches to the CBDC, how will this look and affect the public? On the whole, this system is already operational, and it is likely that a smooth transition will entail. I asked, what stage are we at with the Tesla/quantum tech, which will run these QFS accounts for the masses? Many tech companies are working quickly behind the scenes to create technology which is up to military standards so that the masses can easily access the Starlink centralized banking system going forward. I asked, will we move to a cashless society going forward? On the whole, we already have a cashless society as people use internet banking and cards to make purchases. The difference in future is that all cashless transactions will need to be encrypted and or backed by gold. If they are not government digital currency, it is unlikely that they will be licensed unless they are backed by assets like gold, silver, platinum, diamonds, or other precious metals. The legislative and operational frameworks for future QFS systems and the centralized banking of digital currencies, the CBDC, is currently being put together behind the scenes. The Saudi Prince Salman, Xi Jinping, and Kim Jong-un are big players in helping the establishment of the legitimate frameworks for the CBDC operations going forward. Africa and Russia, i.e. Putin, are also advising strongly on how countries currently will be backed by assets. The new systems will not allow black money, trafficking, drugs, inappropriate use of power due to excessive financial reserves or income. I asked, can we receive the new centralized banking digital currencies on our current equipment or phones? At this moment in time, it is not possible. The delay of moving fully onto the QFS for the masses is twofold. One is the legislation and procedural setup in each location, for example, north, south, east, west, under each commander-in-chief. The second delay of moving fully onto the QFS is due to the technology, the quantum technology, and it's to do with the quantum transactions being encrypted. For example, we need laptops and phones like Q phones or Tesla phones. I asked, what will the role of large organizations like the media, CNN, Amazon, Facebook, for example, what will their role be going forward? All the large organizations are now under white hat control and have been for quite some time. So I asked, do the oligarchs like Schwab, Rockefellers, Gates, etc., still have significant power. And they said no, all their power, financial and networking, were dismantled before Trump by the military. They are now playing a role for the White Hats to wake people up to the dark plans that were held for humanity should the military and alliance not have intervened. This intervention began over 16 years ago, gaining more momentum and credence, albeit under the radar, after the Twin Towers event in the year 2001. I then asked, what further optics are we likely to see going forward around the world with our current level of consciousness? The plan will move backwards and forwards with each reaction or consciousness upgrade by the masses. Timelines cannot be predicted as such, only outcomes. The outcome to all this upheaval now will be worldwide peace and abundance for all, sovereignty of nations and people. I hope you've enjoyed this small update today around the monarchy and the QFS. I'd like to thank those of you who are supporting me through donations, as I have to now move my political work to Rumble and BitChute. YouTube will terminate my platform if I put too many political items on my YouTube channel. Thank you for listening today. Please remember to like, subscribe and comment, and share far and wide. You can subscribe to my website at www.goldenheavenonearth.net.